Hello and welcome to Crafting with Kara or the Yack and Yarn. So we are going to be discussing week three, clue three of Stephen West Mystery MusiKAL. But before I do, just there's maybe like 4 minutes of non-spoilers. Um, I finished clue two before clue three dropped, and that day I had off from work in between, so that Wednesday, and I was like, well, I can't be knitting nothing, so new cast on. I started two at a time socks, and this is how far I got on Wednesday. So I got two little toes done, which let me make sure that the right sides are out. Two little toes. I They right now I'm not really sure whether I'm going to keep them or whether I'm going to give them away as a gift. But I got this. You can tell, again, my color theme is really, blue and green. But so that's my new cast on, and now it will sit around and do nothing until this blanket shawl is done. But that's a fun new thing. I'm wearing, I think, some kind of lattice hat. I can't recall the pattern, but I'll link it down below. I pretty sure it was a free pattern, and it's like crazy bulky yarn. I realized, I bought the yarn and I loved it. It was so gorgeous and chunky and everything, and it was like this one ball of yarn made this whole hat. I think it was an 150 gram skein though. And it's just so cozy and warm, and I love it. I think I finished it in like 2 days. I remember at the time when I finished it, it was right before Thanksgiving, and I wore it to Thanksgiving. It was one of those like crisp days that it was a little chilly, but you didn't need a coat. So this was fantastic. And the reason I can remember that is because today was that same kind of day. Because I just took the dogs out for a walk, and I was like, well, I don't necessarily need a coat. I just need like nice long sleeves and this cozy hat. And again, since I work weird hours, that one Wednesday being off and things like that, I work a little bit today. One second, sorry. I work a little bit today, but not like the full day. So I have some time to do this, and then I'm going to go to work, which means I'm definitely going to shower after work. And so this hat is staying on right now, although I think it looks fabulous. I was going to wear my sea glass cardigan again because I honestly think it's a little strange when YouTubers only wear like one thing once and they're done. So I was going to wear it again because it was also what I wore this weekend. It's what I wore yesterday, things like that. It's kind of been my go-to lately, which is lovely. But right now in my house it's a little warm, especially for the and a hat. I'm drinking some decaf Earl Grey tea. It's magnificent. And as far as puppies, we've got Ginger today, and I'm surprised that me talking in just these 3 minutes that Mahogany hasn't come upstairs. We live on a split level, and Mahogany likes being downstairs. Sometimes she takes a break from Ginger, but oftentimes she'll come upstairs and be curious about what's going on. She still might do that, but right now she hasn't. So here we go. We got Ginger on the couch today, which again means that she hasn't had any accidents. There was like a whole month where every day she was doing something, and now she's just out of it, which is lovely. She's a cute little toasted marshmallow. Yeah, am I talking about you? As soon as I pet her, she like woke up a little. Yeah, grunty. Yeah, so if you hear that sound, it is Ginger. She not only snores but also just breathes like that because she's awake right now and she's just making those sounds. Tis the skull of a French bulldog. All right, now I'm officially going to get into spoilers about clue three. So there you go. You have been warned. I guess I'll sip some tea just in case you need to swipe away. But I'm pretty sure you're here because this is what you want to see. All right, just a few reminders. I made this all out of DK weight instead of fingering to make it like a blanket, whether it's a blanket that goes on the back of a car or whether it's goes on the back of a couch or whether it goes in a car. That's why I said that. So it might end up being like a much smaller kind of like lap throw, but we'll see what shape this ends up being. So here we go. This is all the old stuff that we knew, and this is how far I am so far. I am practically done with this. This is section 3. I think it's giving super like Harlequin vibes, which I absolutely love. This might be my new favorite section. I loved the scallops, and I love this too. I'm super, oh, my needles just dropped. Well, we'll be super delicate. I just got to that section. So now I have one more yellow square and then one last green triangle. So I'm loving this. At first I thought that the garter rows were really small and it was like hard to get into a process vibe, but I definitely once I was done with like 2 of the rows, like the columns diagonally, I got super into it and I was just ready and raring to go. And now I'm nervous about this. Where'd my needles go? Let me do some of this real quick. Whew, sigh of relief. All right, so I've got my stitches on, which is lovely. I gotta say, that's happened to me more than once. This one, luckily, like, I caught it very quickly, but there's been moments where just one stitch will fall off. And so like, if it's just the one that you picked up to stitch the other column next to it, it is so hard to like, it's easy to like crochet and grab all the stitches. Although honestly, I'm such a like not rip backer and not fixer that the first time it took me some like, how do I do this? I even got my handy dandy crochet hook to like, I had to go and grab it to be like, how do I do this? It took me like the first time to figure it out. Then it happened a second time and I ended up being able to like crochet it back, but then I forgot to pick up the like stitches on the next space. But in that exact scenario, it was my like first one that had just attached from a scallop. And so I'd only done like 4 rows. So I did the thing that I like never ever do. And I actually ripped back. I know, but I have to pick up stitches again. So that one I just ripped back until the pickup stitches, scooped it there. And then that's when my like pickup on the, what is that? The left side. That's where I had dropped to. So yeah, I definitely, maybe it's because it's like my needles are long and the knitting is small. But that's happened like 4 times. And usually it's not when I like drop the whole row like I just did. But it's instead just like one on the end, like that slip one with yarn in front. It just keeps like slipping off. I know the solution might be like to get needle stoppers or the whole time I was doing the Harlequin squares, I thought I don't need this huge cord right now. I could either go DPN it and then like get end stoppers on my interchangeable needles, which I thought about doing that for a second, but I'm one who's so used to using my circulars that when I'm done with one needle, I'll straight up like drop it. And I've been known to do that, like even after I switch to 2 straight needles, I'll like throw my straight needle on the ground, and then the dogs are like, "Well, I heard something. And I'm like, "No, I'm not throwing a toy. I'm just being an idiot. I didn't really think through the fact that they're not connected anymore. They're so frequently tethered that you can just be like, I'm done with the left needle. I'm done with the right needle." So just a weird thing that I've done before. I know I have smaller cords as well, but in my mind, I was like, why change to a smaller cord when, this next section's going to need a longer one. I didn't look into, I wanted to finish section 3 before looking at section 4. And I pretty much unspoiled that. So like I said, I only have one more true square and then a triangle left. And I went to my local knit club last night, and I think I got 3, maybe 3.5 of these squares done, rectangles, rhombuses. And so right before I went to knit club, I did want to spoil myself just a touch in case I finished, all of this yesterday at the knit club. I wanted to know what yarn to bring or whether I needed to. And then I realized, like, actually, you're not going to be knitting a new section in front of a bunch of people. Like, it would be like, oh, excuse me, let me, look at this, and then have to count incessantly because I'm sure it's going to be picking up stitches. But either way, I didn't necessarily look in super detail at the pattern, but I did look at the end of the video for section 4. I will hold off my thoughts and comments on that just for a little bit, just in case you too are like me and you've done section 3 and you're waiting to know about section 4. So again, because I'm doing DK, I have 2 skeins of every color rather than just one to get that full 400 yards. And I thought it would be fun to talk about when I hit halfway. Because especially, a lot of people are doing fingering and you can weigh your different balls. But some people don't even do that. And I'm definitely one of those people. But so I officially hit halfway with my blue yarn, which is my A color, and the scallop, it's the one that like did the most heavy lifting. So my A color yarn finished at the last row. Finished at the last row of the section 2 squiggles, the very last squiggle. And so I ended up, I think, like one short row, I just left the tail, and then the next row I picked up with the new one. And I think like it's hand dyed, so one row has a little bit more white flecks in it, but nobody's ever gonna know, because now that I'm into the Harlequin section, or that's what I'm calling it, it's that new yarn, and so that new yarn has the different like color variations of hand dyeing. As far as the next color that I ran out of, which means like the halfway point, this was my remaining green yarn after one square, and let me show you which one that was. That was this square, which is what? Row, we started here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in fact. So I got to all the way to like column 5, and it was my green square there. So I did 1, 2, 3 green squares with and again, that one was worsted, so that one might be even eating more yarn than otherwise. So I got 3 green squares, as well as all the welts and all the squiggles and everything like that. So that's where I got halfway with the green. Yellow, I have yet to hit halfway, but I already had to wind my new one because, let me see, where's my little ball? The yellow ball I have left is just the ittiest bittiest. Oh, it's because it's what I'm currently knitting. Let's see, where did it end? Oh, it's on the floor. My little ditty. This is all I've got left of skein 1. I know it'll finish the square. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm sure it'll finish the square, the rhombus. And then I'll have just an itty bitty bit left for another piece. This one I think is far more like color matched, the 2 skeins, so I won't have to be too concerned. And then color C, this is how much I have left, again, of one ball. And so then the next one I haven't wound yet, although I will soon. All right. Before I go to section 4, I just wanted to talk. Oh no, I did talk about favorite sections. That like the Harlequin one is really fun. I like the scallops. The squiggles were nice, but they were a joy to knit. But in general, since I haven't seen the whole thing finished yet, I'm still scratching my head a little. I gotta say, me personally, I am loving making this. I am loving the look. I am very happy that I personally chose to make this a blanket. Because of that, I chose loud colors, like loud and excited colors. Anytime I show this to people, they're very much like, oh, I love the color choices. And then immediately like, how are you going to wear that? And I'm like, well, it's the thing. It's a blanket. If I had done this exact thing as a shawl, I got to say, I don't know. Like this is a very loud shawl. We've got like such different sections, and at least right now, I know in the future that they might all come together. At least right now, it's very like I want to say jigsaw puzzle, but that once you put the pieces together, it looks like one thing, right? It's very cohesive. This, I feel like the colors are super cohesive, but it's like four different people stitched things and then patched things together. So I love it. I think it's super cool as a blanket. As a shawl, it's a little busy, which has been making me think, like, how would I have made this a shawl that I would wear? Um, that one monochrome, that red shawl from like Clue One Pictures has still been churning around in my head. I think that can be a magnificent one color shawl. And then, so the scallops are highly textured, right? You leave it as is to the T there. These guys, you could do like certain rows stockinette and other rows garter, and then maybe the eyelets you actually throw in a mohair or something, but not much. This I thought would be so cool as garter ridges, and then instead of the next color, because this one, if you did it in one color, it would look very, oh, it just looks all the same, and you've just got weird column stripes, which would still be fun, like would look kind of like runway racer-ish. um but I thought that, so when you color switch, so this one would be garter and this could be stockinette, and then this could be garter and this could be stockinette. And it wouldn't look like there's a four color, Harlequin thing, but there would be a texture of all, like it would be all one color, and it would be textured to be, where the green little diamonds are would all be stockinette, and then where the yellow would be all garter. And then, that makes me think even more. If you wanted four different things, you could do moss stitch or seed stitch, or, some beautiful little itty bitty section of cable or something like that. I know it would be hard to come back on, but would it really? No, not super hard. So yeah, I think it would be super cool to turn these into like a texture bonanza, where, you've got either just simple stockinette and then garter, or if you really push it to like a small cable square and things like that. This, at first when I saw it in the video, I thought that maybe we were going to do interlock, and then I was like, oh, that's not what's happening. But I've done interlock before, and it feels similar, but just in going in different directions, where you knit a square and then you knit a different square and you knit, but yeah. So that monochrome idea is really latching into my brain. I am not one to often make something a second time, but if I would, like, I've got ideas for this shawl in monochrome. I just kind of assume, though, that I'll wait till another mystery MusiKAL. I'm sorry, this is Mystery MusiKAL. Another mystery knit along and do it all one color, but it'll be a year that he asks for many colors. I think like last year's Go Go Dynamo wouldn't necessarily stand out so much as a monochrome. Same with Starflake. So whenever he talks about like two bold colors that like are going to contrast, I don't think that'll do it. There, he's really wanting the colors to work. When he picks like five colors, I think that's strangely a time where, even though five colors, looks awesome and you get all these different fun color pops, I think like a monochrome would be so cool. So yeah, it's the new like song stuck in my head kind of idea that I keep thinking about it. All right, now I want to talk about predictions and section 4, not clue 4, but section 4. So when I was making this, I knew that this wasn't an I-cord edge, but in my mind, I was thinking, since this part, this like the short row squiggle is an I-cord and it's naturally curving, and then we've got this like curvy situation over here, I thought, well, maybe this will be where the neck is, like in the back of your neck, and it'll be like a harsh U shape, kind of like Twists and Turns from a few years ago. That one was very like Millennium Falcon shaped, and it was like a big, strong U shape. So I was thinking that this will be like the bottom of the neck, and that this will be, one U, and that'll be one U, and that's what it's going to be. But then like I said yesterday before I went to Knit Club, I looked to see the next clue, and we're building off here, which is interesting to me because we just made this shape. So like I'm so curious how Stephen designed this one. Like, it just seems like he had like five dreams and just I guess maybe like how musicians make an album where they think about here's one song and then they think about another song and then they try to figure out how to put them together. So it's really interesting. Oh, Ginger's a little itchy right now. So I'm thinking it's really interesting and I don't know what shape it's going to be. In my mind, I'm worried. I'm leaning towards hesitation that it's going to be a rectangular, a rectangular shawl, which kind of is just an oversized scarf, short and fat scarf. But if that ends up happening, again, since I'm making a blanket, I'll just lean heavily on like one side and do something there or things like that. Again, I'll come to that bridge once we're there. For now, I'm going to make the shawl as is, the shape, and then I'll figure it out after that. So I am loving this section and just having peeked at the next one, the like basket weave kind of thing. I'm excited. I really do think that my color C is going to look great. It's going to stand out because it's variegated. So I think the fact that it's stockinette is really going to do favors for this variegated. And then the fact that all these will be purl bumps, I think is totally fine because they don't have variegation and it'll be fun curl bits. I am not sure. So in my squiggles, I included a dark green and I still have plenty of that. So I'm curious whether in my basket weave section, if I should include the dark green, or whether I should leave it my like core 4. And because this section does not have any dark green, I liked these colors playing together, especially since the variegated I feel like ties in really well, like all three colors. So I wanted this part to just be my 4. So I'm not sure whether in my basket weave I should incorporate that dark green or not, and I can show it here. Oh, that's the blue. Sorry. So let me know in the comments whether you think I should add a few stripes. I don't think it'll like make or break it whether I do or don't. It's just a matter of, we've got the Harlequin section without, which is like bold color boxes. And then here, since we've got bold color squiggles, this one has some dark green, and it's going, here, right? Yeah, it's going to go in this section. So yeah, I think I don't, maybe I will to incorporate it. And again, because it's not going to make or break it. If it's just like 2 rows of dark green, I think that'll be fine. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure. My other color that I used previously as like a mohair dare kind of thing was this one. This like all teal, but just commercially made and not variegated. I will not be using that in my section 4. I think it's super similar to the variegated, and I don't want like to have harsh contrast rows of the purl bits and then one that's like super subdued contrast row wise. So this I'm going to save for section, for clue 4, section 5 and beyond, or not use it at all. And that's totally fine with me as well. I'm cool with that as well. So that's what I am thinking and feeling. I wrote some notes, so let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, I oftentimes, like in all the other shawls, maybe not all of them, maybe every shawl but like one, I often fall behind at clue 3. And so far, since I really trucked through to get this done, like any minute I could, I was working on this. I was then thinking, section 4 is going to be this big too. And after looking at section 4, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of knitting. But I think it's less than this, which is great. The downside is I have lots of work and family stuff coming up before Thursday. But embrace your pace and we'll see what happens. I would like to finish by Thursday, but if it doesn't happen, that's okay. I'll just stay off of the internet until I am ready, and then I'll dive back in. I always like having like a little bit of cushion time to then see like the Ravelry posts and pictures and everything like that. But if it doesn't happen, that's cool too. Uh, so yeah, I'm almost there for section 4, and then I hopefully will be ready for clue 4. We will see, not entirely sure. And I'm looking forward to it. How is your progress going? Are you one who is, embracing your pace and you're still on the lower end? Or are you like one of those people who are making like 2 shawls and you're just amazing and super fast? Let me see. Yeah, so I think that is all of my ideas. I just wanted to double check. All right, so I hope you're enjoying what you're working on, even if it's not this. If it's something else, let me know. Maybe it's like a totally different shawl, and you just, aren't super into the mystery. I and yeah, have a great day and enjoy yourself, and good luck on the next sections if you're participating. I hope you're enjoying the weather, whatever it is. I know here in the States, it's finally gotten cooler, and I'm just so excited that it's like, finally grabbing sweaters and putting on cozy things. All right, so adios from our house. Here's Ginger's a goodbye. Have yourself a great day, and if you're not enjoying what you're working on, take a break, walk away. It's not that big a deal. Craft like you only live once, you know? All right. Till next time. Bye.